really glad to be here with you all for the final of this 4-part series. We have been exploring the bold, playful possibilities of clowning for change, for transformation, and for hope in these seemingly dark times of struggle. I'm Robyn Hambrook. I am a director, teacher, performer, researcher, and activist clown. And these workshops, as I said, have been calling in the power of the clown in a world that's turned upside down. We are exploring their multifaceted possibilities as an ingredient for non-violent direct action, to expose truth, to mock power, to bring disruption and play to the front lines of protest. But before we begin, I want to welcome you all and invite you all to take a moment to breathe together. We can have stressful starts to the day without sound, or wherever you've come from, you might have a whole lot with you. I invite you for a moment to let all that go. So taking a seat wherever you are, and if it feels okay, to gently close down the eyes. If you can, put your feet on the earth to ground yourself and feel that you've got roots going deep and wide. And it's from these roots you're able to sit up lovely and tall, a long spine, chin slightly tucked in. And we're going to focus a little moment on our breath, the fullness of your breath in the belly, in the lungs, expanding the chest and ribs, and breathing out with a lovely sigh. You're welcome to flutter your eyes open. And this is just a gentle reminder that we can always come back to the breath. If you're feeling anxious at any moment, remember you have your breath, and some long, deep breaths will always calm the nervous system down. Okay, here we are. We are at our final session of this 4-part series. And this is our series is exploring the intersection of art and activism, how artistic resistance, specifically clowns and clowning, how to invite clowns and clowning to the party to offer something different: subversion, humor, symbolism, and unexpected disruptions. So for the past 3 weeks, we have explored a history of clown disruption, the tools and the tactics of the activist clown. We've explored some case studies, observing clowns in the wild, all of which has offered us a really rich base from where to start our activist clown steps. And today we're going to spend a bit of time in the dreaming phase to offer you a way to take your small steps on your big-hearted journeys. But let's have a quick reminder today of what we've learned and seen in weeks 1 to 3. Right. So clowns have long been close to circles of power, from performing vital roles in the rituals and ceremonies of indigenous societies, to critiquing and ridiculing the temporal powers of kings in medieval courts. In their many guises, clowns, fools, jesters, and tricksters have maintained a vital function as a counterweight to authority, inviting intolerance and helping us to resist our collective urges towards hierarchy, homogeneity, and perfection. Clowns have always existed on the edges as part of countercultures, subverting societal norms, breaking the fourth wall, breaking the conventions of theatres and circuses. They are found amongst the audiences as boundary crossers, shifting the balances of power. And what have they looked like? Well, oh, well, some of them have had noses, and some of them have had no noses. Some are dressed like authority. Some are dressed like the underdog. Some are absurd. Some are colorful. Some are scary. Some are warm and inviting. So clowns have many guises. As shapeshifters, they seem to take on the form suited for the needs of the time. And what are they doing? Well, they're doing plenty. If we look at the gifts and tricks that they have up their sleeves, the tools of the activist clown, in the clown logic, we have so many potentials for how clowns play and disrupt, confuse, transgress, commentate, dissolve binaries, play with power, invite utopian visions of the future. But let's take look at a few examples of clowns and clowning in action. There are those clowns who are offering hopeful, playful, utopian visions of the future. They're showing us the world we want to create. This is prefigurative politics, where we are embodying our desired future's social relations and structures within present-day activism and social movements. There are those who are holding up a mirror, parodying, commentating, poking fun. And through this, they're able to invert and disarm power and authority. There are others who are disrupting the narrative, interrupting the transmission, the status quo, and transgressing the rules, providing a much needed flexing of rigid systems and structures. There are those that are walking backwards into the room, the tricksters. They are tricking, conning, hoaxing, bringing a destructive, chaotic force that arise to revive, to renew the old. Just like the yes men and the yippies, these tricksters can show us a picture of the dream and the nightmare. There are others who are challenging audience expectations and perspectives, who push us out of our comfort zones. The provocateurs force us to question our assumptions and re-evaluate our understandings of the world. So I thought I would offer at this moment a little thought experiment for all of you out there. So here it is. A little story, something to imagine. So it's the end of the world. Whatever you'd like to imagine, capitalism has failed. Authoritarian governments have collapsed. And in an almost coordinated retaliation from Mother Earth, tsunamis, wildfires, and wind have destroyed all infrastructure that controlled our everyday, the system of banks, councils, police, the stock exchange, prisons, all of it wiped away, all disappeared, all gone. And all that remains is the clowns. So we have been given the gift of a new beginning. And now the clowns have the task of rebuilding the world. So how do the clowns rebuild the world? Have a think. What would it look like? What would they do? How would they rebuild things? In what image? Put your thoughts in the chat. Take care of people. Yeah, would you rebuild our old systems in the clown's image? Or would you start again with new values and structures for society? Plant a seed, one smile at a time, beautiful, find food and share, cooperation, no private property, where no one is locked up for the color of their skin, new curiosity, all water, chop wood, great, meet each other. Lovely. All future meetings must have at least one clown present. Yes, good rules. Let's have some rules that we can break. Oh, fun and frivolity. Structure based on love, acceptance, and humanitarian. Teletubby landscape, I love it. Rebuild a new society. Clowns make decisions. Great. What kind of decisions? Always agree, always laughter no matter what. Love it. Freedom of movement for everyone. Absolutely. No one takes themselves seriously. Yes, we finally get respect. Embrace Indigenous practices. Yes, beautiful. Remembering equality of laws that don't distinguish based on religion. Yes, love nature. Freedom to be yourself. Everyone walks backwards one day a week. Excellent rule. Beautiful. This is the idea. Let the clown inspire you. Let it be your inspiration and the juice for the world that you want to live in, and how things can be created differently from the real heartfelt callings and yearnings and the most silly. Everyone wears helicopter beanies. Absolutely. So this can be your starting point to create those utopian visions of the world, your prefigurative politics, as we begin to embody through your clown what you're putting out into the world. To speak to the issues, to respond to rising fascism, to build community and your beautiful utopian visions. You're going to need 2 pieces of paper, 1 pen or pencil, and something that makes you look or feel intelligent. Could be your clown nose if you've got it there. I've got my glasses that help me feel more intelligent. It might be a particular hat or a pencil you can put in your hair. So you've got just a second to go and find those things. On one of your bits of paper, I'd like you to create 3 lists, just a little splurge. One of them is one little title, little column you could use is, what issues do you want to speak to right now? What do you want to get out into the streets and shout about? What are the issues? What do you want to call out? What do you want to call in? Second list is places, all the places where actions could take place, where you could go and interrupt and disrupt. It could be a supermarket, it could be council offices, it could be the freeway, it could be a park, it could be in a protest, it could be in a library. Just name a whole lot. Don't worry about whether it relates to what you're talking about or not. Just name places where you could be, public places to take actions. And finally, what has inspired you? What did you see in our imagery in the last 3 weeks that you went, I love that? I'm going to tell you, this work is not about being precious as an artist and original ideas. We are going to steal. So you just pop all the ideas that you loved. It could be that from as small as, like, I loved the police standing next to a clown, or I loved bright costumes. I loved I loved that moment of disruption or interruption. So can you just start popping a whole lot of ideas down? We haven't got long, but and if you only put a few, that's fine. So the issues, the spaces and places, and what's inspired you from this territory or what you've seen out there already that we've not talked about that's really inspired you. I hope that I've got those creative juices flowing, and a few of those ideas that are really juicy and exciting for you are just there for easy grabbing for the next part. So now we're going to create a little bit of magic. And you are going to write the numbers 1 to 10 on the left-hand side, just like my image here. Done it. Great. And the next thing you're going to do is you are going to put an X in the middle of your page like that. You done it? Right. Okay. So I'm just going to tell you all right now that you have ruined your paper. You put an X, you've ruined the paper. So there's nothing, doesn't matter what you put down now. You have 5 minutes to write 10 ideas, or get as close to 10 as you can, for actions or interruptions related to an issue that you wanted to talk about, incorporating clowns or clowning, and then inspired by all that you've seen. So what you could do is look at your lists there and just pick one from each column. So yeah, clowns dressed as police go into a supermarket and arrest roast chickens. I don't know. Yeah. For not having the right paperwork, for not being GMO free, for example. I don't know, any idea, don't get too precious if the idea feels stupid. What will happen, it will spur the next idea and the next idea. So you're just going to splurge your ideas down for actions. You've got just 5 minutes, and you're going to write as many of these beautifully silly ideas down as you can. I will put it on the timer and make sure we all come back together. Okay. That's the end of that exercise. So where are you at? Maybe you got to 10, maybe you got to 5, maybe you got none. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to attempt to put 120 of you into breakout rooms in groups of 3 or 4. And you're just going to share any inspiration that's arrived for you right now.
Well, this is Anne.
Hi, Anne.
And I've been very reserved. I've not been on any of your other trainings, but I have about 15 or 20 protest shirts. Some are just social justice, but others are more outstanding, and I only will wear them to a protest, and I'm thinking wearing them in when I'm out and about running my errands. And if someone notices me, this is very low key. If someone notices me, and this is from my education background, I could, either have candies or related trinkets where I say, oh, here's a pin for you, about. And also, my family is very much, we can't even talk politics right now. But I thought, we all have a lot of kids. I'm going to wear PBS, and because that's a big thing for me, is taking away all those children's shows, and we can all agree that we really love those shows.
Anti-surveillance makeup, that people are using in protests, if that would be something you would do as a clown.
You could definitely do that. I think that's something when I work with the anarchists or anti-fascists, a lot of them don't want their faces to be recognized. And it's very scary, this software. So yeah, we thought about we haven't created it yet, but we can definitely use makeup to distort the features and still bring it in alignment with beauty.
So activist clowns, raising your voices in a creative way, and getting towards the 3.5% is what it will take at least to reach this tipping point where then the authoritarianism begins to topple.
I don't know if you're having a look in this chat, but there are some incredibly brilliant ideas here. And
Clown's toilet only. These are pretty great, you guys.
we've created some brilliance here, and maybe just sharing it with someone else has given it a little bit more life, but fullness. And how do we begin? You know, this was the question. So I love this provocation from one of my guests I've had on my previous Activist Clown Toolkit. What's the smallest, most delightful creation of your heart's deepest yearning? What's the smallest, most beautiful thing that you can do right now to bring this idea to life? Maybe you can draw a picture of it. We've got these words. Maybe you can reach out and ask a friend tell them. Maybe you can put that first sticky note in the toilet. Maybe you can go and get a sticker and change some stickers around, you know, some bathroom stickers around, you know, like you don't need a big group of you. You can start with your smallest transgression, delightful transgression straight away. Begin right now. Write those lyrics for that, the ceasefire carols. Start with that smallest of steps. I wanted to finish with a few tips from me, from my work out in the streets. And then there'll be a chance for a few questions and a few offers from Sheridan and I to wrap up today's session. So I'm going back in over here to share my screen. So here we go. Okay, so I've done a bit of work out in the streets in the space of clowning and protest. So I just have a few rules to follow, but being clowns, you can also break them, but also mostly follow them. And these are my recommendations, is to play on the edges. The edges are where the clowns are most juicy, where there's ambivalence, where they border crossers and boundary blurrers. So start and arrive sensitively. If you're arriving into a protest space, start on the edges and just keep this question in mind. Who are you centering when the clowns arrive? If you arrive in a big, bold way, you might interrupt something that's already happening. So really be sensitive with this work and come in and arrive sensitively, because these spaces are very highly emotive spaces. So make sure, and this clowning is all about consent. Make sure we arrive in a generous but a way, if people decline to engage with us, that we're not going to push it ourselves in their faces, you know. 2, this is theatre, you know, so tell a story, look good. Don't let makeup be the last thing that you put on right before and you've never thought about it before. Don't like, the worst thing is a badly drawn clown. You know, if I've showed you anything from these last few weeks, is that this work can be really beautiful, and so really treat it with that reverence of the work, you know. Make every action, every choice a conscious decision. How you look, how you walk, how you move together. Create a container, and by that I mean be safe when you go out there. So I suggest you start together in a safe place. You warm up together. Maybe you're inviting new members in. Give yourself a good few hours to decide what you're doing, how you're doing it, what your movements are, what's your shtick, all the parts. Give things movements and choreographies names, so you know what happens. Have a call, so when you're out there, you know you can make a call and your group will come back together. Make agreements. Know where everyone's edges are. Some people might be more like, I'm willing to be arrested, and others are not. So like, really find what's okay for your group, the container, and stick to those agreements. And you know, communication is vital. Stay together, look after each other, and return together at the end and have a grounding, a debrief, and talk about what worked. Don't just let people disappear into the protest. You start together and you end together. Steal, this was the idea. Steal, this is not art. We need to take the good ideas, the work that that's already happened in this realm of civil disobedience, of activism, of change makers throughout history. Steal what worked and try it. And see, you know, and be willing to fail and reassess it and come back and try again. And yeah, I love this. No one wants a drum circle. So that's about participation. How can what you do invite participation? The clown plays and it's an invitation to play. So what element of what you're doing invites others to join in your rebellion or your revolution, if they want to? But yeah, where's the participatory element of what you're doing? And I have many more rules, but in this short amount of time and on these lectures like this, I don't have time to get into all of that. So, but yes, I'm available if your group wants to consult, or if you want me for further lectures, you know, get in touch via my website, and we'll put links.
The continued clown meetup to just talk on Indivisible and keep strong, keep breathing, keep exhaling, keep inhaling. What's a good way to end together so that folks are not getting arrested as you're dispersing? I don't know. Don't do anything that's going to get you arrested. The point is not to get arrested. As some of you know, I was doing some sessions on strategic nonviolent action, and getting arrested is not the goal. The goal is to make a visual message with your body, what you're wearing and what you're doing, that will appeal to the hearts of people going by, including people that see it online. And then you need to be aware, what is your message? So strategic nonviolent action starts with, what is our goal? Not how do we get arrested? What is our goal? Your goal is to reach people's hearts with this message of, we're all in this together, or whatever your message is.
In Columbus, Georgia, and I've been a laughter yoga instructor for 13 years. And I want to bring laughter as part of protest. And so I would like to take what you're doing and include that in laughter, but that's what I'm trying to get going, because I want Republicans and Democrats to laugh together.
Yeah. This young couple who's at the heart of Indivisible, they are just rock solid in their hearts. And now that the movement's growing, we are trying to reach 3.5% of the population in this country who are consistently raising their voices in some way and don't obey ahead of time is kind of, you know, one of the guidelines that fits right into activist clowning. We can support each other. I'll be here at least once a month. Activist clown meet, that will be what we will do. We've had people's video off so that Robyn could teach, but it really does my heart good to see people's faces.
And I just saw a question in there, the comment about no one wants a drum circle. By that we mean drum circles can tend to be insular, with everyone in the middle getting in their drum. That's talking about djembe drummers. So that's the idea of a closed circle where no one has a way to participate and play. So
the question is, how do you, the recruitment and vetting of people to join your group? We've just organized, and now I think we need to expand. And so how do you kind of reach out? And then how do you decide, once you form the group, I think it's cohesive, and bringing new people in is challenging. So how do you deal with that?
Well, you do that on Indivisible. I mean, literally just go on their website and it says, would you like to host a group? I mean, that's what I did, just step up to host on Zoom. Other people here in my area, I'm in Red Counties, North Carolina, other people are founding the Indivisible groups that meet in person. I just chose to do these So you can do it anyway, but literally you go on to Mobilize/Indivisible and sign up, and they send the email out to everybody. Regarding vetting people, you know, in the series I did on strategic nonviolent action, the teacher there said, it's okay to assume that you're going to have infiltrators, and you plan for having infiltrators. You make your own plan for having an infiltrator or two, and you know, it's just not a problem. You're there to be creative, to be fun. You're not doing anything. I don't believe we should be doing anything to get arrested by.
Yeah, and I think the same in person. If you're worried about new arrivals for your in-person stuff, like have a weekly meet or find a way that you could have people join. Like they have to do a training with you for 2 days before they could ever come on with an action with you. Then you know you can build in all that communication, if that's what you meant. Like you want to keep yourself safe and trust everyone you're out there on the streets with. So just have the structures and the boundaries for that participation.